Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're starting a brand new video series where we will be breaking down the entirety of Rachmaninoff's Corelli variations. I've already broken down the entirety of Rachmaninoff's Chopin variations, and that's going to be in a playlist on my YouTube channel, so you can go check out every single video. There are many of them. But today we're starting the Corelli variations. A little bit of history needs to be put forth before we even talk about the music. First, we need to talk about where we are in Rachmaninoff's life as he is composing this. He passed away in 1943. The years leading up to that, he didn't do a lot of composing. But when he did write something, it was a massive work. So this was written in 1931, about 12 years prior to his passing, and it is the last solo piano piece that we ever received from Rachmaninoff. The next opus number is one of the most famous pieces he ever wrote, the Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini. That is a set of theme and variations, but for solo piano and orchestra, so it's like a piano concerto. That was written about 2 to 3 years after this piece. After that, Rachmaninoff only had 2 more pieces that he published. The first being the Symphony No. 3, that was published in 1936, and then his Symphonic Dances, published in 1940. So the last 10 to 12 years of his life, he only composed 4 pieces, at least that he published. So this is the last one of the solo piano repertoire. Now, he is writing a theme and variations that he attributes to getting the theme from Corelli. Corelli was a classical composer in the 1700s, and he indeed did write a theme and variations in the year 1700 on this theme. However, he did not, Corelli that is, he did not compose this theme. This theme has been around for a long, long time. We date it back to around the 1500s, starting in Portugal. We even give it a name. It's called La Folia. Back in Portugal, it was used as a dance, specifically to fertility, which is not going to be relevant to Rachmaninoff at all, so I won't even go into that. However, it wasn't first published until the mid-1600s. So for a time, the only thing that existed of La Folia was the harmonic progression, which I'm going to play for you now, actually. So this is the harmonic progression to La Folia. It's very simple. It uses a few chords. You have D minor, you have A major, you have C major, and you have F major. Simply 4 chords. Now, that harmonic progression was used many, many times in the 1500s and 1600s orally, but it was never published until, as I said, the middle of the 1600s. In the year 1700, we already said that Corelli wrote a theme and variations using this harmonic progression, but he also popularized the theme that we now put with it, the melody. So that's going to sound like this. It's a very simple melody to go along with the very simple harmonies. The importance of this is that Rachmaninoff didn't quite know who to attribute this theme to. So he gave it to Corelli, who had the starting off point for this theme to be used in the public canon of classical music. There is a composer named Lully who was the first to publish it in the mid-1600s, but Corelli really popularized it with his awesome violin concerto theme and variations. So, let's talk about a few things surrounding Rachmaninoff and the writing of this music. I do have a fun quote to read for you, straight from Rachmaninoff, but translated into English. He wrote this piece and dedicated it to his friend Fritz Kreisler, who was a very famous violinist at the time. And he also wrote a note that I'll read to you to Nikolai Metner, a good friend of his who's also a fantastic pianist and a great composer. The note says, "I've played the variations about 15 times, but of these 15 performances, only one was good. The others were sloppy. I can't play my own compositions, and it's so boring. Not once have I played these all in continuity. I was guided by the coughing of the audience. Whenever the coughing would increase, I would skip the next variation. Whenever there was no coughing, I would play them in proper order. In one concert, I don't remember where, some small town, the coughing was so violent that I played only 10 variations, and that's out of 20. My best record," Rachmaninoff says, "was set in New York, where I played 18 variations." Then writing to Metner, he says, "Hopefully, I hope that you will play all of them and that you won't cough." So Rachmaninoff is not very fond of this set of variations, seemingly struggling to even play all of them, because he was always worried that the audience was bored. Now, since then, many pianists have played this piece and have made it so famous that no one's ever bored when listening to it. The way I want to make sure that you're not bored when you're listening to it is to understand what little motifs Rachmaninoff is going to be grabbing and using for the next 20 variations. So the first thing that he will undoubtedly be using is the harmonic progression, going from D minor to A, to D, to C, to F, to C, back to D minor, back to A. There's this relationship of D minor and F. Those share the same key signature. So you're going from D minor up a third to F. And Rachmaninoff is going to do this all the time. So be on the lookout for that harmonic sequence. You will see it all over the place. The other thing that you're going to see a lot of is the melody. Again, I've played this for you. It's not the most intriguing melody, but of the intervals in the melody, the most important will be the first 3 notes. This step up and the leap down. And specifically, the repeated D prior to that. You're going to hear that all over the place. And Rachmaninoff is going to use that as a rhythm and as a melody. And he will vary that greatly all over the place. So be on the lookout for those things throughout the next 20 variations. But for now, I simply just want to play the theme as is published by Rachmaninoff, where he attributes it to Corelli. But we know it's not really Corelli's. But let me go ahead and play the theme, and then we'll start talking about variations tomorrow. Here is the theme. So that's the theme that Rachmaninoff will be using. It's not very complex harmonically or rhythmically or melodically, but we'll see that Rachmaninoff doesn't need anything extravagant to make an extravagant piece. So check back in every day for the next 20 to 21 days, and we'll break down every single variation so that when I give my recital on December 2nd, you'll be a little bit more in the know and be able to more enjoy this piece and not cough. So we'll see you the next couple days.